Ooh, that looks tasty. Welcome folks, today the Hungry Gamer is back with another game review, and today we're talking about 12 Rivers from Good Games Publishing and BGN, designed by Romain Caterjan and art by Dolphin. And I do apologize if I mispronounced any of those names. Now what this game is a 2 to 4 set collection worker placement style game that utilizes this river board with marbles that are going to be pouring down into the basin. And on your turn, you'll be placing your workers to kind of make dams and then collect different cards, which will be giving you powers and collecting in-game scoring conditions as well. Now, with that said, if you are not interested in how this game is played, so I'll jump to my final thoughts, then you want to go to the timestamp on the screen right now. For those of us still here, let's talk about how this game is played. So what's going to happen is, in the order of the tiles right here, players will be placing their workers, or dams really, onto the board. And there's a variety of places they can place them. They could place them up high on the river, and to do that, you'll see that there's a cost of cards here that they would have to pay. So if I wanted to place right here, then I would have to discard 2 cards from my hand, and I'll talk about how these cards work in just a bit. And then perhaps the next player decides that they're going to place all the way down here, and then we look over here and we see they actually get to claim a card, and they can take one from the market here, or they can take from the top of the deck. We'll just say that one gets claimed there, and we put out another one like so. Additionally, if a player ever places their marker next to one of these tokens right here, if they're the first one to place just to the right of it, they'll get to claim that token. And these tokens give a variety of powers. They're fairy tokens. They do all kinds of things. They might allow you to place here without having to pay for something, or it will count as another card when you're trying to play cards, or there's lots of things that they can do, which I'm not going to get into in this video. Perhaps the player plays down here, and what this is saying is they don't get anything, they don't have to pay anything, but any of the marbles that wind up down here, the pearls, they're going to get all of those at the end of the round. And then finally, they can place over here in one of these spots, which will allow them to collect some of these villagers, which is how you'll score at the end of the game. And just to kind of show how things work, I'm going to place the rest of these out somewhat randomly. Then once all the workers have been placed, someone gets the honor of pulling the break here, which will allow all the marbles to flow down. And we have something like that. Then, starting at the top left, going from left to right, top to bottom, each player will get to claim one of the pearls behind their marker. So we'll just say that red will claim this one, and then they would take their marker back. You'll see it rolls down, and they would place their marker at the back of the line. Then blue would go, and I will just go ahead and claim the rest of these and place everything out. But as you can see here, now we have this kind of lineup. So in this case, yellow would get to pick that one, then blue would get to pick one, and then yellow again would get to claim one. Then we notice we're down here, and then yellow would get to claim all the leftovers. Then we would move over here, and then again, in order from this side to this side, they would get to claim new villagers. And these villagers, as you can see, also give new cards. So if blue started out and took this one right here, they would gain this villager, which I'll explain how it works in a minute, and also could claim 2 cards. And then each of the others would go as well. And what you can see here is now we have reordered for the next round. Now I'm going to slide this out of the way and talk about what you do with your pearls as you claim them. Each player also has an alpaca. And as you claim your pearls, they go onto your alpaca like so. And should you ever have a completely full alpaca and you gain another one, then you can either take the one you just got and throw it back into the river, or you could swap it out and throw a different one into the river and claim the new one. Then once everyone has claimed all of their villagers and all of their pearls, then we move into the villager phase. And at that point, you're able to take the pearls off of your alpaca and place them onto your villager board. So in this case, I could place one here and one here because I matched the green, a purple right here, and the white right there as well. And these others I could leave on the alpaca because there are some scoring bonuses where if you have a certain number of a certain color of pearl on an alpaca, you'll get to claim the card, which will be worth 4 points at the end of the game. Or I could place them out, and I'll place them both on those two wild spots right there. Is it's giving you ways to score points, because at the end of the game, each pearl that you've placed on a villager is going to be worth the points right here. However, each villager also has different scoring conditions. So for this one right here, every other villager that is filled with pearls, I get 3 points for. While this one right here is going to be worth 5 points if I have 4 of one color on the villager right there. The only other thing I haven't talked about are how the cards work. I've already mentioned you use them to place your workers, but you can also discard pairs of the same card to activate an ability. And these do all kinds of different things, from allowing you to take an extra pearl, to after you've made a placement, perhaps I played this one, and I played 2 banners, then I could take one of my other tribe tokens from the line and move it to the front of the line, like so. And there's several different types of cards, but I'm not going to go into all of them now. Then at the end of the game, you'll score points for whatever your villager tile bonuses are. You'll score points for your core pearl value. You'll score points for any of these bonuses that you have, and whoever has the most points is going to win at the end of 5 rounds. So with that said, what do I like about this game? The first thing is, the production on this is so good. It is beautiful. On my top-down camera, you can't really see that big spot on the left side, that kind of this wall. It's this beautiful looking waterfall going down, and just, it's a stunningly beautiful game. All the art I really, really enjoy. It just looks wonderful on the table, and obviously the gimmick of the marbles rolling down is just a lot of fun, as is kind of making those little dams as you're blocking the marbles. It's just a delightful toy factor that really works in game. The next thing I'm going to say is, it is way more complex than it looks. You really are making hard choices every single turn of, do I want to just get more cards, which are going to allow me to do some really powerful stuff. Those cards let you do insanely powerful things. Or do I want to blow those cards and make sure I'm getting the colored marble that I want? Because as you're going through, getting the right color marble is paramount importance. It is so important that you do that. But then again, it's also super important that you get more villagers each round, or at least every other round, because that's how you're going to get more cards in general. So you're constantly having to make really hard choices. But on top of that, you have those fairy tokens, and they're going to move from the stump to the foxes on the board every other round. But getting those is really important, because some of them let you ignore the cost to place something, let you move one of your tokens, let you take an extra marble if you play it in conjunction with like a fishing net or something. So so pretty much everywhere you go, there is a real high cost value analysis that you have to make. And then there's some fun risks to it, because if you're going to go early and take the reservoir at the bottom, well, you might get a whole bunch of marbles to choose from, or you might get nothing, because everything gets kind of picked up along the way and you've just wasted one of your very few actions you get throughout the game. And so I think it actually works quite well as far as that goes. And then the variety of different villagers that you can get that have all these different ways to score points, I think makes it really fun and makes every time you play a different puzzle. The puzzle is always different in how you're trying to figure things out. Are you going to go after those alpaca goals, or what is it going to be that's going to get you your points at the end of the game? So, with that said, what are my quibbles with the game? I really only have two and a half. And I'll start with 2 that I have that relate to the production of the game, which, as I said, I think is very, very good. There's no score pad. And I know that everybody has phones. I know. But I really wish there was just a pad of paper, and for myself, I've actually made one myself that I've laminated and put a dry erase marker in my box, but I really wish that I could just go through and say, okay, everybody, what did you get for the white pearls? Okay, everybody, what did you get for this? Because one, I think that actually helps you not make mistakes in your math. Personally, come at me if you disagree with me, but also it's really cool at the end of the game for me to be able to look at it and say, ah, you got all these points doing this. I didn't even think about doing that. There was real value in doing that. So I'm sad that there's not a score pad in there. And the other thing is there's no round tracker. And I know it's only 5 rounds. And I know that you know if you're on an even or odd round, depending on are the fairies on the foxes or the stumps. But somehow, every time I've played, regularly I'm stopping and thinking, wait a minute, is this turn 2 or turn 3? Just, I don't know. I put a die in my box now, so it's an easy fix, but I wish that was in there. I think that's 2 very small misses that could have really improved the quality of life of this game. And the next thing I'll say is, just lest it wasn't clear, even though I think there's some really interesting puzzle to this game, and truly interesting puzzle to this game, it's a light game. The joy of this game, I think, comes in replay over and over. That's not true. The joy of the game is the damn marbles rolling down and you're picking the thing up and you're watching them roll and stopping them. That's the joy of the game. But once you get past that joy, and truly it's a joy, what makes the game work is the puzzle and replay. The more times you play and you start trying to figure out different ways to get points and you start trying to figure out, okay, is it worth it to me to try to kind of snipe a pearl that I see they're going for here that might be worth less points for me, but might be good for me in the long run, is really fun. Really, really clever. So for me, I am very pleased with this game. I think it is doing a simple game quite well. I'm really excited to see what kind of modules might come out down the road. It's so easy to do this, you know, some more villagers, some more types of cards you can get. Just easy to add little things that can just keep this game so fresh every time you play. I really have enjoyed it. I think it's one that I requested and I had someone pick up for me at Gen Con simply because the toy factor of the marbles, I thought that's just so cool. And I think, though very light and simple, it has lived up to the fun of the gimmick. And not a lot of games that have a gimmick like this can say that. So, there you have it, folks. As always, if I made any mistakes in the rules overview, please let me know in the comments with the timestamp so I can get that in the Klingon subtitles. If you found this video useful, please like, subscribe, share, maybe become a channel member. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.